Hey guys, today I'm sharing with you my homemade biscuit recipe. This is a super moist and absolutely delicious biscuit. It is so good. So good. So good. In a sieve here, I have some all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to go ahead and add in some baking powder. That's going to be 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I will have all the amounts listed below in the description box, as well as I'm going to go ahead and add in some granulated sugar. Now, a lot of times when you make biscuits, it can come out really dry and crumbly, which can work really well sometimes. Yes, baby. Yes, but these biscuits are super moist and just perfection. I'm also added in some cornstarch in here, as well as some salt. Again, all the amounts will be listed below in the description box. I'm going to go ahead and sift our dry ingredients. And press the little bits out. Whatever's left at the bottom, just go ahead and discard that. Sometimes it's little bits of salt. To that, I'm going to add in some vegetable oil. And I'm going to get my hands and I'm going to start squeezing the vegetable oil into the dry ingredients. And it's going to create a crumbly sort of mixture. So go ahead and just mix that together really, really well. Take about 2 minutes and pinch together that vegetable oil into that flour until it becomes a really nice crumbly mixture. And to that, we're going to add in our wet ingredients. I'm going to start off with some sour cream. All the amounts again will be listed below. Add in our sour cream. We're also going to be adding in some heavy cream to these biscuits. Now, this recipe actually came about because I love my 7-Up biscuits, and I was making that, but I'm like, I don't have any 7-Up. So as I changed around some of the ingredients, the amounts and so on, I used heavy cream, and this is how this recipe came about, and I have fallen in love with it. I've become a favorite. So it's definitely one of my favorite biscuit recipes. So I've mixed that together with a spoon, and I switched over to my hands to kind of squeeze in that dough and bring it together into one kind of dough ball until our bowl is nice and clean. I'm not really kneading it. I'm just squeezing it together till it becomes a dough ball. Place this on our counter and kind of bring it in together as best as you possibly can. We're going to press this out with our hands till it's about maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. And again, I always say how blessed I am for such amazing recipes, because this has definitely become a favorite of ours. Serve it with some jam or some jelly or some butter is so good. So now we have it here about 1/4 inch thick. I'm going to take each side and I'm going to fold it into itself. This is kind of sort of going to give us a little bit of layers. So I'm going to fold this in all the way to both sides, and then both sides at the top and bottom, both sides to the left and right, until we have a nice square. Then I'm going to press this out one more time. You can use a roll-in pin if you want, but I just want to be kind of gentle with it with my hand, and press it out once again until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. So after I have finished that up, I have a bowl here. You want to use a bowl that can go in the fridge as well as in the oven. So I'm going to cut this now into 3 ways downwards and 2 ways across. So this is going to give us 12 lovely biscuits. You can of course double or triple this recipe if you want. So I have this bowl here. This is an 11 by 7 bowl, I believe. I'm saying a bowl. A baking dish. Here we go. And I have some unsalted butter, some cold unsalted butter there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my unsalted butter and I'm going to start cutting it up into small little chunks about 1/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to cut up my butter into little chunks about 1/4 of an inch thick. And our biscuits are, you can see that even though we really didn't do much to these, they've got some layers going on in there, and you can tell that these are going to be some moist biscuits. It is honestly so delicious, and it's so easy to make. So after I have finished placing my butter on my tray, I have it kind of spread around the butter so each piece of biscuit sits on top of a piece of butter. And I'm going to place my biscuits in my tray here, my pan, tray, dish, whatever you want to call it. And you can see how beautiful and moist, and these hold together really well. Place it on top of a butter. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just get it all in there as best as you can. And now this has to go back in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, so that everything's going to solidify, and it's going to be really just place it back in the fridge for 30 minutes. Make sure your oven is preheated to 425 degrees. So after you've taken it out of the fridge, it will kind of firm up a bit, and it's going to be so good. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to go ahead now and place this in my oven. You want to place it in your oven at 425 degrees for about 20 minutes or so until lightly golden on top. And what's amazing about this is that butter at the bottom of each biscuit kind of just makes this amazing crust. Y'all, I love these biscuits, okay? The crust at the bottom is just really like there's a crunchy bottom, soft, moist inside. So good. Make sure to brush some butter on top and all around the sides and the edges when they're out of the oven, and you can see how super moist these are. Let them cool completely before you serve it. There's this amazing crunchy bottom and sides. It's this crust that the butter creates at the bottom. It is so amazingly delicious. If you have all these ingredients on hand, go ahead and give these a try. They're super easy, and they're a really great side to go with pretty much anything. Anything you want some carbs with, just go ahead and make these. We love to serve these with some jelly. You can use strawberry or grape jelly or jam, or some butter, or just as it is plain. They're so good. I'll have everything listed below. I hope that you guys enjoy. If you try it and you enjoy it, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.